My beautiful stars, reading time. I was wanting to do a channeled message from your person, and I normally get right into it, but I'm being called to get tarot for you guys. So I actually think there's some things in your life right now that there's more than just someone on your mind. Okay, so let's just get tarot first, see what you guys are going through, just to even for myself to confirm why I'm having this switch when I'm coming in here. And to make sure it's your collective. Okay. What's going on with the main collective right now? Wow. Oh. One more, please. Okay. This is making sense. So we've got 10 of Cups, the Devil, 5 of Coins, and 3 of Coins in reverse. There's something here that you really feel like you're not learning from the past with. There's a little bit of friction in your life right now. So maybe you're really noticing repeated cycles. For you to have 10 of Cups as your first card, but then we've got the Devil, 5 of Coins. That's quite a hard energy to be getting through. And this 3 of Coins in reverse. I feel this, right, collective. 1, there could be something going on in your home environment. 2, when it comes to the love department, I feel when we have such a main focus that, like, personally, I feel this should have come in reverse. This card specifies blissful relationship, divine love, feeling fulfilled. But all of these cards do not show emotional fulfillment. And it's just making me think this collective, for a long time, you feel like you've been holding on to something that once upon a time really did make you feel emotionally fulfilled. And especially if there has been some form of breakup, some form of financial change right now, you feel like you're going through a little bit of hardship, not just with Pentacles, but also your depth of emotion. It's really activating your shadow. Maybe it's creating obsession, fixation, for you to be reflecting that you're not learning from the past. And this card here specifies third-party friction. Something's very uncommitted. You feel like you're doing it alone. Okay, I just feel this collective, because these are here. When it comes to viewing your life as 10 of Cups, it's like it's not making sense to you. You, side note, especially for the Devil to be here, I see that as a card of materialism, addictions, sexuality, even sexual addictions. There's something about your own internal shadow self that's really being reflected in your life currently. And when we have things that we need to reflect on, and unfortunately we've got people attached to our mind, especially attached to our mind in hopes, potential of things. Unfortunately, when our higher self is wanting us to reflect on certain things, we can have a bit of the blame game in our mind. So I feel this collective, even though your shadow's up a little bit, it's needing a bit of reflection in your mind. There's a little bit of blame going on. Maybe you think this person has sexual addictions, financial things that unfortunately hold them back a little bit. They could present a little bit of that materialistic person, spend more than they really should spend. I just feel that a lot of the things you're actually needing to come into an internal balance with, your mind frame is directing it at other people in your life, right, collective? This will make sense. I say it about external signs. When the universe is giving us signs and synchronicities, it's all for us. It's all for our soul development. But unfortunately, as people, especially when we're going through heartbreak, or we've seen certain things we're going to gain, or, you know, people will see 888 and think they're coming into the jackpot. It's like, I see this a lot in this community. Everyone thinks the universe is sending you signs of what you're going to externally gain in your life. This journey is to find fulfillment and wholeness and really learn that you complete yourself in this world. So it's the same with internal signs. When your internal emotion keeps activating and you're getting triggered by other people, especially people that aren't in your life, you've got to kind of reflect that finger back at yourself and say, well, why is this triggering me? Why does my thought pattern keep going to this, that, and the other? Why every time I'm emotionally activated, maybe I feel the worst, or I feel, very negative about these people that once upon a time I viewed as a 10 of cups in my life. I just feel this collective, you're clearly going through a bit of emotional ignition with things you yourself keep repeating in your life. And I feel there's a bit of frustration over you. 5 of coins is not an easy energy to sit in. I always say this in traditional tarot, he's got that cowbell on his neck. He's feeling very endangered. And I just feel in all aspects of your life, you really are feeling out in the cold right now. And I'm hearing this, let's take this in another direction, right? Let's just say, especially with this not learning from the past and your shadow being here, let's just say right now you're thinking, let's say this person on your mind has popped up and it's ended exactly the same. You've literally repeated the exact same thing. And once again, you're feeling 5 of coins here. The right collective, you could be that energy. Why did I act that way? Why didn't I put up boundaries? It's like you yourself are starting to realize you've just literally repeated the exact same cycle with someone that you envisioned to be like this. But instead of blaming them, because yes, they've done wrong if they've treated you the same, what could... And you are saying it, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? I see this so much. We see straight away, the universe will always make sure we're seeing those red flags. So let's just say, example, the person on your mind, when they appear, it's a little bit more dry, it's a little sexual, it's just very kind of armored, right? A lot of people will see that message pop up on their phone and it'll literally say, hey, what are you doing? Especially after a lot of damage that's been done. And it's like you guys find strength in that moment and you're like, I'm not going to reply. So that's your gut instinct, right? That's your intuition. That very first moment, I always say intuition lasts about 5-10 seconds and the overthinking comes in, right? So you see that message, you know you deserve more and you're like, I'm going to stand in strength. And then an hour passes by and you start obsessively thinking because maybe you don't get another message, or then the fear starts to come in, right? The shadow starts to come in, the obsessive thought pattern. If I don't reply, maybe they're going to disappear again. Maybe I'm not going to hear from them again. I better reply, but I'm going to reply this way. That's your overthinking. So straight away, you know you deserve so much more than that, but your fear, so because you don't see yourself, because you don't see your self-worth, which again, if you're on a healing journey, it's meant to make you discover yourself, your self-worth. You don't see your self-worth. If you struggle with abandonment, right, your abandonment trauma starts to kick in. So that's the trauma that you're also trying to heal through this journey. So everything you've been trying to heal, even though you found strength in that moment, once again, you fall short to that magnetic pull of desire because you don't see yourself and what you truly deserve. And you truly believe in that moment with that overthinking, even though there's just been a little tiny breadcrumb, no, but I have to message because I don't want them to run again. Instead of thinking that I deserve so much better, run as fast as you can, run as far away as you can. I don't want that energy in my life. There's a reason I just went into that long deviation for this collective, and I've got a few collectives here that unfortunately, one of the layers you get stuck on, every time you hear from the person that you once upon a time thought is a 10 of cups, hey, how you doing? You act like nothing's happened to you. You act like you haven't had 1,000 daggers put into your soul with what's been done. And the right collective, whatever this environment is, family, love, whatever it is, it's made you feel 5 of Pentacles. It's not an easy emotion. You've felt rejected. You've literally, and And if it was a 10 of Cups and you had a foundation together, this actually even created financial ruin for you. So maybe after this, you know, you lost your home, you lost your job. It didn't just affect you emotionally. The right collective, it also affected you financially. So it's so hard to not have resentment, anger, and frustration towards someone when we constantly excuse their bad behavior. But the thing is, it's our fault because we keep accepting it. Even when we're shown the energy hasn't changed. So then you accept it. It doesn't go the way that your expectation planned. So then after time, every time your expectation is met with disappointment, you start to harbor anger, resentment, sometimes even hatred for them. But it was your choice to accept it. I'm not saying this to upset anyone, but again, this is clearly important because it's coming in so strong. The right collective, and I always say this, as a reader, I'm not here to tell you how to feel. I'm here to confirm it. You know, whatever's going on with your 10 of Cups, you're not learning what you need to. You keep repeating the same thing. No matter how kind you are, no matter how understanding you are, they keep treating you the exact same. So if you keep trying to do something where you're met with obstacles, it means you're not doing it right. Why not try something else? Why not try a different direction? Let's just get one more for your top row. Beautiful. This is nice. So I think you try your hardest to trust in the universal flow of life. This is my card of miracles. And you're clearly a very special person. The star is also a card of spirituality. It's a card of serenity, peace, and calm, right? It is a card of wishes coming true. It's a card of belief. What's that paired with? You could have financial things as well going on. But King of Coins in reverse, it's not the best energy. It's a very stubborn, kind of ungrounded, even a little bit disloyal. This says jealous, hasty, disloyal, kind of possessive energy. But again, if you're viewing this person as that, what about you? I don't want to say you're possessive, but you have such a focus on your end stop that this collective, sometimes you can really excuse bad behavior, okay? Because you're just wanting to get to that 10 of Cups again. It reminds me of, again, one of my collectives. You get a Page of Cups approach, one little and your expectation straight away is, we're coming back to the same, but you can't go from a Page of Cups to a 10 of Cups. It doesn't work, especially with energy like this. This takes dedicated effort and time. This is broken trust. So to want someone in your life that you have no trust over, that's not something that can be fixed. Not even with a few messages back and forth. That takes a lot of consistency. You need to realize, again, that this is something that's dependable, and you can't realize something's dependable and reliable without consistency. If you don't have trust, and not just in love, in your, with your work colleagues, your work path, family, friends, those things will never work. Especially if you're someone you struggle with trust issues. But I will say, Star's also a card of renewal and kind of restoring that faith and that hope. And I do think when you're in a centered emotion, you're not silly. It's just, I feel when the love tests come up or the emotional triggers come to the surface, unfortunately, this collective, you still are clearly falling back into maybe patterns or habits that you've really been trying to heal and soothe. So let's just say this, right? Let's say when you're thriving in life, in your independence, your environment, right? And when you're alone, you really feel you're coming into this star energy. And then all of a sudden, you get certain tests to do with your heart space. And when you get tested with your heart space, you think all that healing that you've done, all of that self-evolution that you've done, that self-discovery, it's like it goes right out the window and you're like, oh, why didn't I do that differently? Why didn't I approach this with more boundaries and seeing myself? Believe it or not, the universe is trying to show you, we're protecting you. This is still something you haven't completely overcome. And I always say, we need to walk through the fire. We need to burn to learn. Sometimes it's 1,000 times. But this collective, you've clearly got the strength to learn because you're coming into self-awareness. So even though things might feel like they're not working in your favor in the physical, without that fire, without that setback, you wouldn't be learning the way you're learning. So don't be too hard on yourself. But there's definitely things in this collective's life that you wish you could handle better right now. And again, you will handle them better because you're noticing them. We say there's no test or lesson ever failed. Sometimes it just prolongs our timeline. Okay, let's confirm these. Okay, so underneath 10 of Cups, we've got 7 of Swords. And there's a reason I say everything. For some of this collective, I do think you've had some form of approach to you. Was it in the form of a confession? Not so much. But there's something in your family structure, love structure, right? I always see that 10 of Cups is kind of when all of our ducks are in a row. I really see that as, again, our wishes coming true. The White House, white picket fence, whatever it is, whatever you have seen as your stable foundation in life, there's something here that someone's either been caught for some form of deception. At the moment you're sitting in something feeling like it's really unworkable. Maybe it's you been craving for this person to just come clean and just speak the truth. This is clearly something that you've wanted, right? So let's just say this person, for the right collective, something's clearly come to the table. But I just think, even though you know deep in your soul something's not right, especially if this just came to a sudden halt, and your 10 of Cups life just went pew, out the window like a lightning strike with no answers, you're not silly. You're not silly. You know there's something in the background. So even though deep in your soul, your gut, your intuition knows something's not right, whenever this person pops up, hey, how are you? Again, failing to remember the 1,000 daggers that went into your soul. I'm not saying this person's not in the wrong, but let's take it to you as a collective. Stop excusing it. Stop accepting the, hey, how are you? The sexual approach, the whatever it is. Because when you're in strength, you know this is something you need to do better, okay? It's hard to not give in to that magnetic desire. It can really blind us. I'm going to bring up that documentary again. It's coming to my mind. Bear with me. This will make sense. I feel this is the best example to give to that magnetic desire. I watched this documentary. It was called Daniel. I recommend you watch it. It's a really beautiful documentary. I got it on Prime. Anyway, it's this young guy and he's, I think, about 23 years old, and he travels the world and he films, and anyway, he ends up going to this Mayan cave, and he's gone with his best friend or a guy he was traveling with. Anyway, as they go in, the tour guide says, don't take anything from here. Nothing. He's like, people have unfortunately passed away from mysterious deaths and illnesses when they take anything from this cave. It's a burial site, right? Anyway, they're walking through the cave and he finds this perfect little round stone. And he says to the tour guide, can I take that? And the tour guide's like, no, you cannot take that. And in the documentary at that time, it presents like he doesn't take it. Anyway, 6 months later, he gets diagnosed with stage 4 leukemia. And it's like in his soul he knows it's because he took that stone. And he ends up telling his mother, I took this stone from this cave and I was told not to take it, but every fiber in my being was telling me to take it. He said there was like a voice in his head that was like, take that stone. So he thought it was his intuition. It was the magnetic desire. It was to be strong enough to say no to that. But he couldn't say no to that. And unfortunately, he ended up getting very, very sick and passed at such a young age. But in that documentary, him and his mum searched everywhere for this stone, but it's like it had already been taken. And then once he had passed, his mum was looking underneath his floorboards and found this suitcase, and she found the stone. So once it was taken, it's like it couldn't be returned. And I just find that to be such a very sad documentary, very emotional, but that's unfortunately sometimes what that magnetic desire is. So back to that message, it's like you guys know not to do it, but everything in your soul is telling you, your intuition is saying, no, do it. You need to do it. It's not. It's testing you, yourself, your strength to say no. Sirens. So this collective, deep in your soul, you know you deserve so much more. You know there's been some form of deceit here. As tempting as things may feel, you need to trust yourself and your worth. Truly. Stable energy. Yeah. So it's so hard for you to not obsess on this Five of Cups. And I'll tell you something, Five of Cups is actually so beautiful. We fail to see the silver lining in that Five of Cups energy. We fail to see that rejection is protection, or everything that happens in our life is truly for a reason. And without those painful lessons, without those fires, we do not hit a phoenix, period. But when we're so focused on the spilt milk, what is not right in our life, our shadow, we fail to see how strong and sturdy those two cups behind us are actually getting and are. And anyone that's gone through anything to activate them into, because I know how I'm speaking, you're a very aware collective, you're going through some form of healing, some form of spiritual connection, that's a blessing. It might feel very painful and life's working against you when this is up, but you're healing this. So right now, this collective, whatever you're obsessing over, whatever is gripping you right now and making you focus out and fixate, they're saying it's a Five of Cups. Yes, you might be feeling grief and sadness and you're emotionally purging. You're becoming stronger. And you had to spill those cups to strengthen your other two. I get it. It's hard when we're in an emotion to see that. But this collective, you're clearly strong enough to see it before it happens. Stop seeing it after it happens. Although it is good that you still see it after it happens. But we want you to be ahead of the tower, not behind it. Okay? Five of Coins. Oh, there really could be a detail about sexuality here. I see that Hierophant in reverse. I've allocated that as a sexuality detail as well, because he's very alternative. He's unconventional. He walks to his own beat. Okay, he's got unconventional lifestyle choices. But when it comes to your career, your Five of Pentacles, you could have a bit more of an unconventional work life. Maybe you're not in that 9 to 5. Maybe you work for yourself. You're on social media. Whatever it is, I think there is something about you personally when it comes to your finances. You walk to your own beat, okay? Again, you're not really stuck in the rat race, this collective. You're kind of thriving in your birthright or whatever it may be, but maybe financially you're not where it needs to be right now, okay, and you're stressing about it. Don't question yourself. You need to trust. I think this adds to this 5 of Cups. You've got 5 and 5 here. I wouldn't be surprised if another 5 comes out. I feel this collective, you could be going through a very powerful transitional period right now. I always see that, especially if you're seeing a lot of 555 right now, that reminds me of Tower energy. But the Tower is beautiful because it's breaking down a structure that does not serve us to rebuild something stronger, okay, to create true forward movement in our life. But I do think when it comes to this 5 of Coins, you are questioning quite a few things, especially your financial path. All right, what do you feel you're not? Oh, here we go. Good. This is good. And I felt it as I was reading you. So, because unfortunately you've been burnt again by the same fire, right? Feel like once again you're having to do everything alone. 8 of Swords in reverse. Maybe this might be the last fire that you need to learn this lesson. You're finally getting your mental strength back. You're realizing this is because of your decisions. Again, as a reader, I'm not here to tell you how to feel. Everything I've been saying, you've had this penny drop in you, but spoken your own way, okay? You're taking your power back. You want to set free from this mental prison. It's finally making you conquer your self-doubt, which is great. Again, sometimes when we're so surface level, instead of having resentment for this person, give thanks to this person, because whatever you feel like you just keep walking through and not learning, you're finally starting to learn. Okay. So this card, this deck, specifies this 4 of Swords is about ghosting. So someone has So this person that you're trying to find balance and belief and heal and renew and blah, 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 trying to believe in your miracle, they have ghosted. They've been very stagnant. They've exhausted you. They've made you feel burnt out emotionally, okay? But this card also specifies, especially with the Star, everything we say, it activated your dormant abilities. So it finally made you tap into the world. So yes, it came through a 5 of Cups. But look at the structure it has and is going to continue to create behind you. We don't grow without pain. And this is why I say with emotion, it's so sad how the human brain's like, that's anger, that's frustration, that's sadness, that emotion that is like this, what you're going through. This is the emotion that changes us to a core. Yes, you're feeling restless. Yes, you're feeling a little silly. Yes, you're questioning your lifestyle choices. But you're ripping through this. And this time of year, it's not easy. Saturn retrograde, Mercury retrograde, Neptune. There's so many things that are meant to find balance right now. Okay. You've got this. Let's just get one more. Just a little bit more soul searching. I think you've been this collective on your hermit's journey for a while, and I always say that path feels very dark, but there is that star at the end of the tunnel, and sometimes we only get glimpses of that star, but it's there. Soul searching, enlightenment, guiding light, solitude, growth, result, restoration of peace. Which I feel this collective, you could be in a bit of spiritual isolation. I call it your magical bubble. If you're feeling very hermit right now, you really are doing it alone. But I always say going through things like this, people need to do it alone. Well, they don't need to. I can just imagine the comments. But this collective, don't be too hard on yourself right now. If you are feeling a little bit alone, getting through any kind of ascension, rebirth, dark night of the soul, We're not easy to be around. You're being protected. Okay, I just want to get you quickly. Perfect. So you've got the light bulb with the clouds. So you feel like you're in your clouds right now. Thoughts, problems, doubts, hesitation beyond your view, unclear. It is meant to be beyond your view. You're not meant to see right now, but that's okay. Oh, we bloody lost it. So over this feminine energy, the devil came up, and yes, this could be something else. Okay, but who cares? Let's not focus on the external. Let's focus on the internal, because this collective, you got that in your energy. There's something about your own veil, right? Your shadow that is being activated in you. And I do think this collective, you can tunnel vision. You can obsessively think. This is not something that needs to be stressed about. I more think, again, you need to bring illumination in your soul. Okay? Your light bulb first starts with you. And also I said, because this is a card about a year, so this, whatever this is, could have been going on in your life for a year or more, especially when it comes to your own shadow, your healing. Oh, beautiful. Remember who you are. Empress. Truth. It's really funny. On this journey, I see so many people, they're like, I'm a divine feminine, but yet you're just in agony and aching. There's no release and trust. You're not sitting in your stillness. You may not be physically chasing things in your life, but energetically you are, especially this, always worrying, fixating on the things you cannot see just yet. Be still. Remember, you're amazing, attractive, attraction, grace, charm, beauty, love, relationships, whatever, magnetism, abundance, happiness. They're saying you're the Empress. Believe that. If you've got the Empress out here, that means your Empress glow is around you. When our Empress glow is activated, things really start to change. But again, this is why they're trying to plane taking off. This is why they're wanting to activate this in you right now. How amazing you are. How great you are. Believe in yourself. Jeez Louise. Oh, powerful, powerful. I'm hearing me say it. I said a reading, this was ages ago, maybe last month, and I heard your time alone is where you build your empire, your greatness. Don't push your time alone away. This time was to create your power, your independence, not your loneliness, your independence. Understanding if you're really this powerful, the attitude is everything. Your time alone was to build your greatness. Embrace it. Cool, calm, and collected, confident. You being in solitude. This is part of your contract. This is really where you change your life. And deep down, this collective knows it. But you need to look at your time alone differently. Without your time alone, your next book you're meant to write in life would not be there. Powerful time. Switch your thought pattern towards it. Thank your higher self for it. The moose energy. So right now you're coming to the end of a season, which means a new season's about to start. Our cycles, right? I always say when our new cycle starts, this is where the blessings come in. But right now you're going through the end of our 2-year cycles are the hardest. They're the hardest because that's where all the lessons come in that we failed to learn throughout the 2-year cycle, right? the start of it, the easiest. Halfway through, if we're not appreciating it and truly creating change, by the end of it, it becomes very hard. And I don't think this collective, it's extreme to how some people's may be, but I do think a lot of the things, unfortunately, that you didn't really learn from this 2-year karmic cycle, especially in the heart space, it's being very, very prevalent in your energy right now, because they're wanting you to tick it off. They're not wanting this to be another burden in your next cycle, right? So because you're coming to the end of a season, it's going to be hard. It's meant to be. But they're asking you to see both sides of something right now. And I felt that in your first part. Just remember this, collective, and I'm saying it in such a loving way. You've accepted this, and you've continued to accept this. Is this person at fault? Yes, they are, but you've accepted it. So you're just as much at fault as this person. But it's because this collective, your whole journey, you still haven't seen your power, your grace, your Empress energy. Deceptive, but everything's changeable. And I'm a firm believer, anyone in this world can change if they want to change. If you want to change and you want to be better, you can do it. I don't believe in that leopard can't change its spots. I think it's ridiculous. You just have to want to be a better person. So I always say, on your healing journey, just stay in your own lane. Don't worry what they're doing, this person, that family member, this, that. Just focus on you. Okay. The aha moment. Literally. So like I said, this epiphany isn't about the 7 of Swords. It's about you. Your Mother Gaia energy. You got the Mother Gaia and you got the Empress here. Powerful. Your inner identity. You need to ground. There's something about your purpose as well. And you could see it, the 5 of Coins with the Hierophant in reverse. They're wanting you to experience duality. Your own yin and yang. Balance your inner and outer worlds. It says fertility, but I think it's more rebirthing you and your womb space right now. But you are the center of everything. We all are. We are all one with our Creator. It's that sovereignty. Truly believing that. You are a sovereign being. All you need is you. Truly. 26th of the 4th could be an important memory or birthday. All right, this feminine, remember the fixation, the 5 of Cups, shouldn't be there. From tears of sorrow to tears of joy. When you just change your outlook a little bit, overflowing abundance, tears of sorrow, tears of joy, but you need to release. There's some emotions you need to release in your devil energy right now. Fulfillment, chasing after something that does not serve you, especially if it is the deviation. You've got this fixation on another person that's affected this, whatever it is, doesn't serve you. It's holding you back. It's time to release that. They're wanting to, especially something financially, but I always say our external abundance starts from internal abundance. Really believing this about ourselves. What everyone says, I don't chase, I attract. Yeah, they're easy words to say. You need to believe it. Oh my God, you got the... Okay, we got the feminine masculine pairing, but this is what the clouds are over. It's meant to be. Remember what I said for that? You're not meant to see this right now. This collective, this is not meant to be your focus, especially coming into the end of a season. All that focus, you want to see you. What lessons you have learnt, what lessons you haven't learnt, what lessons, you feel like you've adjusted, small steps, big accomplishments. And this is why I say, everyone on a healing journey, I bring this up all the time, a notebook and a pen is your best friend. You should always write down your triggers, because if we're not looking back, so let's say what you're going through right now, right? Let's say you had written this down last time you were going through it, or the time before, because it is so baby steps along this journey. Sometimes we don't even feel like we're healing. But if you've got something you can reflect back to, especially in a diary, because you can then start to see when you guys first start to activate, especially if it is through a loss of love situation. It's like there's just this obsession every day, right? Then it goes to about maybe a couple times a week. It sporadically gets longer and longer and longer, right? That you have this thought pattern. So first thing, you start to realize, okay, well, I am healing. I'm not thinking about it as much. But if, and I see this a lot through my collectives, when that trigger point comes up, if you're dealing with that trigger point, right? So straight into the worst, straight into this. So still emotionally, bringing up the exact same emotion, if you've got something to look back on, you can see, oh, well, wait, I'm not dealing with that properly. When I get triggered, I prioritize this person so much, or I think they're this, that, and the other. What am I not learning from that lesson? I can't suggest enough that everybody should do that, especially if it's certain things you're really wanting to work on, because seeing it builds a bridge subconsciously for you. So next time it comes up, instead of just focus it, you go straight to your little diary and you're like, okay, well, how did I deal with this last time? It distracts your mind a little bit from the emotion in the box, and you start seeing it outside of the box. Because right now, this in your life, the universe is saying, don't focus on the hassles, problems, things that are hidden, this man connected to you. It's meant to be not a focus. Your focus right now needs to be your light bulb moment to your greatness and who you truly are. If they're seeing you like this and the Empress, you're one of my collectives, you can change the world. But first it comes in believing in you. And how can you truly believe in you and your power when you keep accepting someone that affects your self-worth? You're better than that. And this is also why I say, important detail. I do not recommend anybody that watches tarot, especially collectives on a loop. I say it's so dangerous for the mind because collectives can get so confusing. If you are someone, you're constantly watching tarot, it's like you can't center your emotion. You're coming from a place of lack. I always say, us as readers, I believe we should all be healers. And I think sometimes, and I'm not here to question anyone's craft, we are like, I guess you could say, spiritual therapists when it's done right, right? So we're here to help people that need it the most. But you all need to get to a phase where you don't need anything external. All you need is you, your sovereignty. People that go on ChatGPT, watch tarot readings, focus even on subliminals and manifest it, all of that stuff. It's not you. All you need is you. It's all coming from a place of lack. Traditional therapy, spiritual therapy. And I know people, especially that are very kind of programmed, I get it. I'm not trying to... This collective, you'll understand what I'm saying. Anything that comes outside of you for answers, you don't believe in you. You don't believe in your surrender. You don't believe in your divine guidance, no matter how spiritual you might say you are. All you need is you. Just remember that. Once you really believe this about yourself, you are on target. You could have one of those really cute little bow and arrows tattooed on you. I went for my arm just then. But once you do this, and you aim properly, you're on target. Direct, quick, focus, but you need to implement a strategy. And I think the diary thing's a very good thing, but you just need to be on top of your thought pattern right now. Remember, This time alone is where you create your magic. And just shifting that thought pattern in itself every time you feel this loneliness or this, no, my loneliness is to teach me what I can truly in this world. And I'm pretty sure I said it in the last one because I'm hearing it again. I wouldn't be surprised if you live in a number 7. So the house number we live in is for a reason, or the numbers of your house number come into a single digit of a 7. Living in a 7 is about independence. It's about spiritual development. It's about accessing more intuitive sight. It's also, it can be a number living there to reflect on health and health decisions as well. But wouldn't surprise me, this right collective, you live in a number 7 or come to a 7. It's your time to create your magic. As we said at the home, your house, that's a confirmation for the right collective. So when I talk about details and discernment, when my mind goes like that, this right collective, your home. But this is where you're meant to put your roots down. It's actually your safety right now, if you believe it or not, your framework, building the right structure, okay, learning your boundaries. But I think that's more the confirmation of the home. Or I guess, because 4 came out, well, you could live in a number 4. And that's 9. Okay, 9th of the 4th, 4th of the 9th, end of the season. Oh, last card, judgment period. So you're going through a clear and purge, cleaning the slate for fundamental changes, a total transformation you're renewing right now. Reuniting, past, present, future version, another spiritual story on its way. And I say that as well. When you first activate, that's not the only activation you go through. You develop over time, you grow over time. You guys go through so many awakenings. Okay? 7 ascensions, next 7 ascensions. It's forever. You're forever changing. Okay? Beautiful. Hold on one second. I just want to get you a couple of these. I'm going to get you an archetype and an animal card, and then we're just going to see what's coming, what the universe is going to release for you, for your creator's plan for you. Okay, not your plan, the creator's plan. Sacred boundaries, yourself right now as well. Be gentle with yourself. How's your home right now? Is it cleansed? Is it clean? How's your sacred space at home? Even if it's just an altar, is it nice and clean? I heard that specific. Master manifest. Stop it. It's funny, we touched on this a little bit yesterday. If you were really this, it's so funny because people believe with manifestation, you know, what you focus on in a positive lens, you will create. It's the same with negativity. You keep focus on negativity, you're going to keep calling it in. Lonely, this, that, they're deceptive, they're this, they're that. And if you are a powerful master manifester, that's what you're going to keep calling in. How's your environment right now? How's your inner soul right now? How's your dietary intake right now? Are you treating your meat suit as your temple? What can you change right now instead of focusing on the things you can't? Crow. I saw a black widow. Crow, spiders, they could be specific signs for you. Or even a tiger. We said it before. Small steps, big accomplishments. This journey cannot be rushed. And your commitment will forever get tested. That's this journey. Just break free from the illusions. You're so much stronger than that belief system programming. Remember, that's what you're trying to heal and change. But unfortunately, when you triggered this collective, that's what you fall back into. And the last couple weeks here, that has been such a main theme for all of my collectives, like pretty much all of them. It's not that you guys aren't going through a huge spiritual transformation. It's what happens when you're triggered. everything that you're meant to be breaking free from is exactly what you fall back into when the trigger arises. Okay, it's like a tornado, a shark ripping through your brain when you fixate on these things. But you know it, this collective, you know it. It's time to break free from it. Be stronger than your thought pattern. Doesn't just miraculously change. You need to be on top of it. 66 days to create a habit. Remember, that belief system has started since 3 or 4 years old. It's a hard one to break. Every day, the same beliefs and this and that through your mind. It's hard to break. I always say people that are activated, say you activated 2 years ago. You're only 2 years old. You're relearning life. You're relearning how to parent yourself. And again, what you do to service this world, anyone that's been activated, you're here to create change. You're here to help humanity. So what is it that you do? You've got a 5 of coins over whatever it is that you are focusing with work. So maybe again, instead of focusing on the things you can't control, whatever your path is, right? If you keep being met with obstacles, I know your commitment gets tested, but when you really connect to your your true path, the universe gives you blessings and shows you straight away, yep, you've connected, right? It's normally kind of free flowing, okay? It progressively grows, it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Yes, you come to points of a few little halts and a few little, like, of course, that's just life. But if it's constantly stuck, you've got no movement, it's not making you feel good, there's something you need to change. And you've got to not be in denial with it. This, right, collective, your 5 of coins, it doesn't, what you choose to do for work, it makes you feel 5 of coins. Your true birthright, your true path in life, it should ignite your soul. It shouldn't make you feel like a 5 of coins. And I always say our body's emotion is our biggest compass in this world. They can't just put a little piece of paper and say, you need to change your direction right now, or you need to change or alter this. They make you feel it, especially if you're an activated being and you see the world. You would get intuition, but this collective, you keep pushing it off. You're coming to the end of a cycle. They're trying to activate your Empress glow, right? So you get all those things come in. But if you're not doing what needs to change right now and just thinking everything's going to miraculously change, you're going to repeat it again, okay? This is a big one for this collective. Action leads to success. As we said it's not just going to miraculously change. You know, I said this in another reading. It's so funny. With your abundance. So then you need to shift something here. Okay. You've got to remember, we've been stuck in this for centuries not getting it right. The reason we keep reincarnating, we're not signing off our contract. We're not getting it right. So imagine how much patience they've had waiting for you to get it right. But yet people will activate a year or two and expect all of this. And when it doesn't happen, you curse your team. Oh, don't give me signs. Oh, you're working against me. Oh, blah. They've literally waited centuries for you to be able to return home. So people think that just because you've activated to healing, everything's going to change wrong. No one's the exception. You'll just keep prolonging, and eventually, unfortunately, means another lifetime here. Not bad, but they're not just going to miraculously put everything in your path if you're not making the right decisions. They activate you so you can access and trust in the intuition and the guidance they send you internally and through here. But when you keep denying it because you're afraid of change or afraid to step into the unknown, it's not their fault. There's something here, huge confirmation for this collective, because they confirmed it as we said it. You've got potential to truly change the world, but you need to make some adjustments with something. Just remember, it's coming to my mind, we are all born one of a kind. There is no one in this world like you. So ask yourself, what avenue are you on? Are you being your authentic self? Are you truly being your authentic self? even if you're in a saturated field, you're meant to break the mold some way or form. Are you being you? Are you trying to, do you compare too much? Do you try and be like, I'm not going to say you try and be like someone else, but do you get triggered by other people in your field? Do you compare to them? There's something here, I feel this collective, you're being shown by your emotion that if there's something about your authenticity, your authentic self, that you're not completely delving into. And they keep showing you blocks. Just remember, no one can be you. And you cannot be like anyone else, saturated field or not. All right? Right, collective, that'll make sense. Because they're trying to give you a whirlwind. But you need to activate your dragon's blood. No longer a serpent, but a dragon. Remember the power of you. Okay. Last one. Oh, too many. Last one. And then your prayers will be answered better than you could ever have imagined. Better than you could ever have imagined. By just being you, but you need to rebirth and find the real you. Your prayers being answered. Okay? That's where your victory comes. That's your halt, this collective. Remember 7 ascensions? Crowned. Victory. 7 ascensions. There's something very minute that you need to... You're amazing, but there's something about your work path and you know it deep in your soul. The right collective, you know, remember, as a reader, not here to tell you how to feel. Drop pennies. Bing, bing, bing. And as soon as you do that and really cocoon into who you are meant to be, you're going to get crowned. And pretty much simultaneously, when we make the right decision, they show us. Just as when we make the wrong decision, they show us. Okay. I just want to get you an... So I want to get, oh gosh, the shaman. I believe that. You're magical. What I was going to, and it came out, but what I was going to do, I just want to see you now, but what this energy, unfortunately, what it's creating, what it's meant to make you sit in. Okay, so we're going to do a now to your transition. Okay, the red. Truth, that's you now, the thread. All right, but what are you? I'm pretty sure that's really nice. Oh my God, too many. But the lover, the vow, the mystic, and the warrior. What? Powerful. Oh, powerful. I just want one. Holy moly. Oh, why are so many coming out? The nectar. Just one, please. You're not going to believe this. They keep coming out in 3. That other one was 4, but 3 again. But the creator. Jeez Louise. All right, last one. I'll just get whatever comes out. It'll be the top one that we pick. Thank you for a huge amount. The gem. And the river. You're meant to be a diamond. That's a very beautiful card, by the way. Okay, so let's just read you. Hold on. So right now, the thread, the path, the vein, the circuit. It's so funny because I see this a lot in the divine community. I always say what's on the end of your thread will not pass you by. And you believe that with love, but it's like sometimes you guys fail to believe that about your whole journey, your path. What is destined for you will always be for you. Life is a tangle. So much happens simultaneously and I can't say that word. Leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. Old mind you're trying to change. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in our body. Our whole being responds to its tug, meaning it's pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirit are, I'm going to say, eventually lifted. We remember who we are and what we came in this world to do. Truth. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates that thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing, no matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become. If we are connected to the thread, we are free internally. Remember that. Being threaded to it is the only anchor our heart truly requires. So amongst all the chaos and all the... be thankful that you are activated to your higher self, to what you're meant to do something. That's a blessing. I always say people that get activated in this world, it's one of the biggest miracles you could ever receive. You're only 5% of the population. So instead of focus on... If you truly resonate with being that 5%, there's a reason you were chosen in this life. I know we choose our vessel and blah blah, but there's a reason this lifetime, it's your destined lifetime to get it right. Stop focusing on the mundane, the silly little things. Watch a whole reading. You've got a mission to accomplish in this world. Focus on the change you can create. Because literally, you're born to be the gem. I'm sure this is a card of like... Hold on, let's get it. I don't want to speak too soon. Just keep hearing the word fortune. Hold on. There we are. Okay, the diamond, the gold, the inner treasure. It's always been there. It was just buried. There are infinite names for the gem. It is also known as the jewel, the star, the talent, the gift, the gold. One thing for certain is that it is found deep within the substance that is very much unlike, deep within a substance that is very much unlike it. For example, the diamond in the rough, the gem always stands in contrast to its surroundings. You walk to your own beat, that Hierophant in reverse, and you're meant to your authenticity. The service, your prayers will be answered once you start making a few little show the world the real you. We are all born one of a kind. Stop trying to fit it. Not that you watch the whole thing. You can't find it when you are among comforts and pleasantries, and this is why your time alone is meant to really, really build your empire, your greatness. You're not meant to be comfortable right now. You're not meant to be comfortable following this thread in life. That's why you are part of the 5%, because not many people can handle this journey whatsoever. Oh no, I thought mine. Where are we up to? Precious stones develop slowly, small steps, big accomplishments, in the earth, amid pressure and darkness. Without the pressure, the darkness, we've said it a couple times, we do not grow. To become a phoenix, we need to be burnt to a crisp. Okay, true crisp. Discovering the gem requires a descent beneath the surface, right at the bottom of that shadow, right at the bottom, the pits of your soul. Where there is no definite map, just the one thread, the invisible thread that's guiding you, your connection to source. Yet the longing to touch the true gem within us is so strong that we can't help but seek it out for its radiance. Your gem, like your gem, like your destiny, it's unlike any other in this entire world. Again, one of you. So be that one of you. Keep digging, they're saying. You need to trust in your thread. You need to trust in your pain. You need to trust in your storm. You need to trust in your time alone and understand this takes time. Without pressure, without darkness, you wouldn't be turning this gem into one big fat sparkling diamond. Believe. It's not meant to be easy. It's meant to be gut-wrenching. It's meant to be hard. Anyone that thinks that this path is just meant to be easy and everything's meant to fall into place, you do not understand this journey. Okay? Truly. Just saying. All right, let's get you This isn't a timing card. Like, I just want to see what the creator's plan is for you, and then we're going to finish with a beautiful animal card for you guys. Okay, I'm getting you the beautiful crow deck because I feel that's a sign for the right collective, because I specified it on that master manifester. Hold on, just... That's your path. Be a light to others. That's why you were chosen. Remember that. You have a powerful message to share. Shine your light on the world so others can learn from you. That's your biggest block here, this collective. You think it's love and this and that. I said it in that part, and you just have to be honest with yourself. Do you compare a lot? Saturated field or not? Do you get jealous by people? Do you get triggered by people? There's something here. You probably get triggered or envious because they probably shine in their authenticity. That's what your soul is craving. Because your message, no one else has. And vice versa. It's one of the biggest things. I know that's a tough thing to hear for this collective. Be proud. Whatever your path is, you're not meant to fit in. Remember that. Saturated field or not, you're not meant to fit in. Recognize the true signs you're getting. You still see a lot of signs, especially emotional signs, so in the box. 26th of the 4th. April's an important one for you because you got a lot of April months in the Intuit Oracle. Someone just... sorry, this came to my mind. You might actually be this person. You might be watching this. Someone messaged me and said they got this deck, but there was a couple cards that were in this deck that aren't in your deck. This is the original one. So you've probably, hold on a sec. So you've probably got this one that I actually don't use this. I should start using it. So you've got the Intuit Oracle 180. This is the original one. Okay. Sorry, that just came to me. I reckon you, and 444 there. Very good deck. Anyway, so 26th of the 4th, and it says 444. Okay, one more. Welcome abundance into your life, which they're trying to release. So again, it's just a little tiny change, especially because you're coming into the end of a season. They're activating your Empress, your Mother Gaia energy. Just a few little tweaks. Okay, very nice. And number 37, the important numbers for you. All right. What's this new cycle for you meant to embody? What is this collective's beautiful plan? What is going to be? Oh. Infinite potential, infinite possibilities, energy rush. You're meant to illuminate this world. The Sun, one of the most positive cards, if not the most positive card in tarot. How can you illuminate the world if you haven't completely illuminated yourself? Oh, with your empire. Emperor, you're meant to lead the way. He is our card of authority. So even though, again, saturate, pioneer, visionary, you're meant to lead the way. You're meant to be some form of calm in the chaos that this human experience is. Remember, he creates stability and structure, and he's no nonsense. My God, is he powerful. Just remember that. Are you that right now? How can they release this if you're not doing that? Watch the whole thing, otherwise this will not make sense. Because the right collective, you think you're doing everything right, but they're blocking you for a reason. You're, again, 7 of Wands. You're not meant to fit in. He doesn't listen to no one. He locks in on his Mount Everest. That's it. He's getting to the top of it. Okay. I actually think he's very good to see in career. Sometimes I think with people around, career, perfect. Okay. But determination, he's no one can sway him. And your future path is going to take a lot of courage and determination. You've got 2 masculine energy here. Your yang energy needs to be so strong. So again, this whole journey of activation is to balance our yin and yang, our feminine, masculine. It's meant to center. Your path needs so much of this. Courage, determination, persistence, perseverance. You're not meant to give up. How's your willpower? How's you falling short to magnetic desire right now? How is it when it comes to the action in your life? Do you avoid things? Oh, I'll do it tomorrow. Oh, I can't be bothered. I'll do it in an hour. Oh, if your future path, you need a lot of strength in this. Do you not think that's something you should focus on for the right collective? Because God, to truly, like, this is power, energy. Oh my, and you're meant to balance. You're meant to balance this world. So even with all this, and I said that, you're meant to put calm into a place of chaos, right? So even with all this strength, you're meant to teach people calm. You're meant to teach people about emotion, how to moderate things as well. That could be part of your actual path, something to do with emotion and balance and also, just side note, because this is my card of being a patience and learning patience. Small steps, big accomplishments. The angels are by your... Look at your major arcana here. Just what's driving it all, though, is your 7 of Wands, your determination to get to the top of that bloody Mount Everest, okay? Strong backbone, not being swayed by other people's opinions, because in the nicest way, not doing it to trigger the right collective, but that's unfortunately what happens for you. That's why you're worried about your authentic self, especially if you're online. Are you more concerned about views and numbers and this and that and blah, 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 instead of this? What you need a backbone. You'll be getting shown right now where you lack this in your career path. Okay, there's some powerful energy here. Very beautiful. Oh, but it's slow healing. So I think this is something to do with helping people, because you've got 2 about Knight of Cups, especially because we're talking about career right now. That Knight of Cups, he's very psychically inclined too, I will say. But his journey, he's healing himself along the way, right? And remember that deviation. And it's a slow journey for him. He doesn't rush it. Small steps, big accomplishments. But I said, how are you meant to illuminate people and illuminate other people's potential and possibilities in this world if you haven't completely overcome that yourself? So whatever you're meant to teach people, you've embodied yourself, which means, let's talk about imposter syndrome. And unless you've experienced something, unless you've walked through it, unless you've accomplished it, unless you've gotten to the top of that mountain, you always have a little bit of doubt and this and that. Whatever your path is, you've experienced it, so you can teach people. You resonate with them. And that's why you're so impactful. And I always say this about empaths. Your activation is meant to transition you from an empath, just feeling people's energy, mistaking it from your own, for your own, to learn to alchemize and transmute and relay something back to help heal them. How can you transmute and alchemize if you don't feel? Which means to be able to feel someone, you've experienced it. That's why your brain takes you, and this is why I say true healers. You've had a lifetime full of trauma, but it's for a reason. Whatever your path is, you've experienced it. Remember that, okay? But it was never meant to be fast. It was meant to be slow, because you were meant to heal along the way. So don't put so much pressure on yourself, and definitely stop comparing this collective. It could be maybe a path of even what, ages ago there was this series on Netflix. Gosh, I've forgotten what it's called. It's come to my mind. I'm seeing her. She's a bloody love guru. It's a comedy. What's it called? It's an Australian one. Gosh, that was funny. I was literally in my mind just seeing her. It could be something to do with therapy or a love guru. It could be something to do with that as well. You need to have confidence. Whatever it is, there's something here very beautiful that the right collective, you've walked the path. So you've walked the path of what you're meant to be doing. Okay. But okay. I want one more for that because I was seeing that in reverse. Okay. Lovers, as we're saying it, I do think this collective, it's something to do with love too. But I feel you're also meant to help people get out of their mental prison in life. So again, how can you help people overcome things if you haven't experienced it and learnt how to get through it yourself, right? So I do think there's something here. You are meant to put structure and peace and balance into people that unfortunately can really fall short into this kind of energy. And I always say that 8 of Swords, we've put ourselves in a prison we don't need to be in, okay? There is something here. And let's read that in reverse. Lovers in reverse is a lot of about imbalance and discord and trust issues. And like, I feel this collective, this is what you're meant to, it's part of your path. So be proud of it, okay? Especially if you're online. Even myself, I always say, I tell everyone, I specialize in divine. I specialize in love readings. I love love. If another collective comes through, it comes through. But do you know how much grief I get because I read love? I get so much grief. But I've had to learn to not listen to that. It's like, maybe there's a reason I'm bringing myself into this. Maybe that's this collective. You have a certain niche, but you just hate all the backlash you get. So you're like, oh no, I'll do it this way, or I'll do it that way. But your soul is here to do, especially for this collective. Especially if you have experienced the divine journey. Like, there's something here, you can see it. But I think you hold yourself back because you are worried about the backlash. That's terrible. That's especially if you've chosen to be online. And I'll tell you right now, and I say it all the time, if someone is criticizing you, if it's even, and we see it in the spiritual community, I can't block these people quick enough that feel they have to build a platform to put people down and other people's crafts down. No one knows all the answers. Everyone has their own tools. And I'll tell you something, anyone that reads tarot and wants to get on and be like, oh, it should be read. This is a tool. This was created to develop your intuition and your line to source. What is written in that book? And traditional tarot readers get such a about other people and their style. Should never judge anyone's craft. And I always say, you get karma for things like that. Stay in your own lane. It is a tool. It's to develop your line. If you're using a book as a crutch for you, yes, you should know the fundamentals. I'm never going to say that you shouldn't know the fundamentals. This is your tool. What you allocate, your team will show you. There's a reason I'm going into so much detail now. I don't know if this collective, that really is your block. Other people's opinions. You have a fear. There's not one person in this world that is going to be loved by all. Not one. If you're choosing to be on social media, you will always find negativity. It's never always going to be positivity. That's where that 7 of Wands and that strength comes. The right people will always align to you. Always. If this is your path, but you're scared to speak truth because of opinion, you're never going to succeed. And I'm saying this from a place of love. If you're meant to teach people how to find their internal balance, how to make powerful decisions from their heart space, lovers, how to connect to their soul contract, how to connect to their internal duality, how to lead people in love, how to heal people through love, how to get people out of their mental anxiety and prison, how to teach them balance in being them. You need to do that too. On your own journey. Just remember that. Your future path, you need 7 of Wands. You need strength in you and not being swayed by others. And others hate, because that's where it's coming from, a place of hate, envy. I don't care what anyone says. Anyone that feels they need to put someone down and say it in a righteous, superior way, like they know everything, shame on you. It's meant to teach people how to reconcile with their past versions of themselves, to find the things that they had lost from a young age. And again, if you're meant to teach people this about themselves, you're going to need strength, because there's a lot of opinions on that. As soon as you bring up trauma, betrayal, heartache, loss, pain, even if it's connecting to someone and regenerating with someone, and I get this a lot, I get a lot of... If it's, because this is also about making a comeback, it can be a card of reconciliation, right? But if that's happened through someone that's created pain, you're going to get opinions from everyone about that. Look at this world. And there's that unconventional life, and people that have an alternate, but also teaching people magic. Maybe you're a witch, maybe you delve in rituals, and this is beautiful. You've clearly got a path of you're meant to teach soul discovery, you're meant to teach people to stand in their strength, you're meant to teach people to tap into their authenticity, you're meant to activate people into their true soul path in life, okay? But you're meant to do it with balance, teach them how to find their center and calm, how to stabilize their emotion. You could even be on the path of helping other people develop their empire, okay? This is very powerful, but your key things to achieve this for others, you need to achieve it for yourself. And your tip is by just being you. Truly. Very nice. You've got to get out of your own mental prison first. Okay. I just want to... Hold on. All right. I want to get you these beautiful animal cards. I just want to get you 3. 1, 3 them as we go. The visionary, pioneer giraffes. They could be a sign for you. Rise above earthly matter. Truth. Glide through life with grace. You are able to see the right path. Stand tall in your self-worth and love with your big heart. You were granted a big heart. If you were granted that beautiful, which all divines are, your heart is one of your strongest spaces. Teach people to find their big heart. You're going through a rebirth. We know that. I find butterflies are a sign for all spiritual people. So, but maybe you're seeing a lot of butterflies at the moment. You can reinvent yourself at any time. Open to the rewards of change. So as soon as you have changed, another confirmation, rewards will come. You have brilliance to share with the world. Love every part of your journey. That thread, it's helping you find your gem. Watch the whole thing. Loyalty. The dog, today I will love without condition. My energy and enthusiasm are my inspiration. I choose to be happy. I am a protector and a friend. One more. Whoa, too many. The peacock, your vibrancy. Okay, last one. The hawk, the messenger. So you're a divine messenger. Truth. Spirit is sending you messages, the signs from up above, that other deck. Open to your greater vision to see the signs. Focus on your priorities and eliminate distractions. That was another big detail for this collective. You have a bright future, so let yourself ascend to new heights. So again, what they're saying right now, there does need to be change here. This collective, you know it deep in your soul, but it's like you don't want to get out of your comfort, because I actually think the right collective, you think you've solidified your path, but all you just get faced with so many obstacles because there's something that needs to change. It's not your whole path that needs to change. It's just maybe something could... Anyway, watch the whole thing. I think you lack sometimes a little bit of that internal 7 of Wands for yourself, because you can get very swayed. and blocked by how other people perceive you, and it's not going to work on your future path. You need to find strength in that. Okay. Oh, the lightning. Baby butterfly. You could be pregnant or about to fall pregnant, but also the butterfly. You're just spreading you're turning to the big butterfly. But lightning, sudden changes. S, N. Remember, yes, when the student is ready, the teacher appears. You were born to be a master. The cobra, the striking message. How can you give a striking message if you just kind of, I don't want to say regurgitate, but just kind of other people's kinds of teachings or their energies? You've got your own things, but you just need to activate this more and trust in it more. Citrine, good luck, good fortune. You could wear one, or you could be buying one to wear. Lapis lazuli, communication, your masculine energy, your strength, your sun energy. Intuition, maybe the ducks are a sign for you, or as you're reading this, especially if you're watching this outside, maybe you see a few little duckies. Crescent moon, could be your birth moon, or there could be big changes coming in on a crescent moon. And then yes, new beginning in love, but that's not what you should be focusing on. Focus on your own new beginning of your heart space. Oh, I just got the shivers. It's here in it's winter here in Australia. Just got very cold. Okay, important birthdays, memories. 20th of the 6th, 20th of the 8th, 13th of the 2nd, 12th, 1st of the 2nd, 2nd of the 1st, 12th of the 8th, 1st of the 3rd, 3rd of the 1st, 3-3 portal, 19th of the 4th, 2nd of the 4th, 4th of the 2nd, 24th of the 3rd, and then 6 by itself. It could be your life path. All right, it's funny how those readings take a turn. So what I'll do, there's a reason that this was meant to be, everything happens for a reason in a reading. And the fact I wanted to do a channeled message, but it stopped and it went to a message for you, just a bit of advice, and I'm just here for advice. Right now, this collective, you don't need a channeled message from any. You don't need to know about external. You just need to focus on you for this collective. So just, again, like I said in that part, overwatching tarot is really, really bad for your internal. You're just coming from a place of like, maybe even have a tarot purge. Okay, just advice. I'm just here for advice. But I will have another collective over on YouTube today. It won't be this collective. So if this reading didn't resonate, but you just watch to kind of get a few little, tips or healing messages, I will have another collective up over there. All right. Lots of love.